Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today we're looking at the first attempt at post-nerf Thunder Dragons. Today we're gonna be borrowing the powers of the Never Miss. Shout out to my boy YT Dan, actually representing his merch. Better snag one. But yeah, my boy Dan has been playing this, as he mentioned in his ban list video. He's been playing this for a long time. I like this deck. I was a huge fan of the 30 card variant, especially because when I first built that deck, it was to counter the Grass Shiranui deck that was just running rampant in that particular format, and then a lot of people stayed with the 30 card variant because a lot of them invested in Levianeer. I think that's the main issue with this deck, is that this deck is good, but for the people that invested in Levianeer, this deck is not going to replace their Levianeer build, just because you have so many less dark and lights. You don't really have ways to just turbo mill your deck. You know, it's just a long grind for your stuff to get in the graveyard in order to summon Levianeer. And I think in the long run, in a 20 card variant like this, Levianeer is gonna hurt you more than it's gonna benefit you, just because you have to like draw it late game for it to do any good. If you start with it, it's just going to brick you, which is the problem with the 20 card versions of Thunder Dragons, that you have very few combo starters. In this particular build, if we don't open Quan, our hand is really yikes. Like we need to have a Dragon Dark and a Dragon Hawk so that we can pitch the Dragon Dark. You know, God forbid we drew both of them in our starting hand. Our hand is like completely dead. So because of that, we have to rely on a little bit of back row. Another thing that I didn't normally do on my Thunder Dragon decks, I like to keep it hand trap, because even though Cyclone is, you know, it's affecting more decks in the upcoming format, I believe it's still going to be the most popular card as it is right now. Everyone runs Cyclones. So setting back row, especially because unless you have multiple back row, if you just set one, it's like you didn't do anything, because they're going to have that one Cyclone and then you just lose. So we're gonna keep some hand traps. I'm running 2 Sphere Kribo. It's not the exact build that my boy YT Dan has. His runs Ballista Squad. He's got triple Deep Sea Diva, which I don't, because your boy is free to play Kappa. But still, it's a super fun deck. Deep Sea Diva, it's a really good level 2 tuner, so we can still run our level 7, level 8 engine. Quan is really good because he is like your grid. If you're going first and you can set up a Quan, you're fine. Unless they negate the Quan effect, you're gonna be okay. If you successfully summon Powered Insectron during your opponent's turn, you cannot lose. Even if they banish this, they cannot damage you for the rest of that turn. So you will have your say, you know, which I really like that. Other than that, Deep Sea Diva special summoning. You guys always correct me on how to say that. I call her Diva, alright? Just deal with it. By special summoning another one from the deck, it's an easy Gandrex, so we have that removal now if we need. He runs enemy controllers. I'm putting Legacy Clash because it's also hand trappy. You know, you can keep it in the hand for aggressive plays. I love going into Black Rose and then using my World Legacy Clash to dodge the destruction, and then I just keep a Black Rose at the end phase. That's really good. And then instead of Ballista Squad, I'm gonna run Void Trap Hole for some annoying cards. You know, Sun Saga, if we can negate and destroy it on summon, it's really good. We can destroy Cosaidos as long as they don't have, oh wait, actually we can't destroy Cosaidos unless they have the Field Spell Act. But anyway, other than that, you know, because of the limit to Gold Sarcophagus, we're only running one double Dragon Dark, double Thunder Dragon Roar, and then Dragon Hawk. Quan is also really good with Dragon Hawk and Dragon Roar because you're able to go into your Samurai Destroyer and then you get a plus. Well, you get a plus of a Dragon Roar on the field, and then Dragon Hawk helps you de-brick your hand if you didn't have any follow-ups. You know, hopefully you'll draw into them from that. We still have Dragon Duel, old reliable. He is super important in 20 card versions so that you can keep your resources. So the main thing I want to do with Dragon Duel in the field is during my opponent's end phase, I like to shuffle back a Dragon Dark into the deck. That way I can summon one with Dragon Roar if Dragon Roar gets destroyed or banished, and we just keep the loops going. That was always a fear of mine when playing 20 card Thunder Dragons, the running out of resources before I can finish my opponent off. But it's a very aggressive deck, so you should really have no problem. On top of that, what does make me happy and puts a smile on my face is that because we're not going to use grit and we're not going to use baggy sleeves, we get to go back to beatdown, like the good old beatdown days. You can only use it once the whole duel though, so you have to play it very strategically. I like to use it for when I have a legacy clash. I just beat down with my monsters on the field and just try to destroy my opponent over one attack. That way I play around Kite Roid and stuff like that. But anyway, enough of that. Let's show y'all some gameplay. I was experimenting with 20 card Thunder Dragons before we knew, before the ban list came out. And I do like the Deep Sea Diva variant. I do think if you're not gonna go the Levianeer route, it's probably the strongest build you're gonna it's probably the strongest build you can go with. If you still want to use Levianeer, that's a big yikes, because you're either gonna have to go double Charge of the Light Brigade, 1 dark, no gold sarcophagus. It's tough, but it is day 1, so we have plenty of time to keep testing. This is just my first crack at it, courtesy of your boy YT Dan, because like I said, I'd be lying if I say I wasn't inspired by his build that he's already been very successful with in the current format. So we're gonna activate Quan. If he had Black Clothes here, this was kind of yikes. Maybe I should have summoned before he synchroed, but I didn't have my toggle on, so I had to respond on the summon. But yeah, once Insectron's active and he can't negate it, it's successfully active. His turn is over for Blackwings. Like, there's no reason for him to, put more stuff on the board, because he might just lose it. So yeah, he literally just ends turn. Time for you to pay for your misdeeds. Alright, we're gonna return the Dragon Dark, or summon the Dragon Dark. Tribute, beatdown, and look at this board. 3900 attack, 34 and 3500 attack, with a spicy Void Trap Hole in the back for if he were to survive this turn. But let's face it, Blackwings are unfairly, yes I say that, unfairly not able to run semi-limited such as Kite Roid, so he pretty much had no out there. He would have needed multiple Krivos, and if he did that, then it's hard to top deck and out my board without that many resources in hand. Here you have Jack running Shiranui. Yeah, Shiranui. We have turn 1 Quarian Gandrax, so I'm gonna be greedy and just set my Void Trap Hole. I didn't know what he was running, but I figured I could survive with the Void Trap Hole unless I got hit with a Cosmic Cyclone. But I think he's playing Post-Nerf, so no Cosmic Cyclone for him. Alright, just gonna use Ballista Squad to destroy my Dragon Dark. Kind of pointless because I can search, even if I didn't already have a Hawk, I can just search it and then summon it back. Now we're gonna go Quarian Gandrax. He's gonna activate his trusty free-to-play Findish Chain, I'm sure. But that's fine, we can still go Dragon Duel, hit him for 28, and we have the Void Trap Hole waiting for whatever he tries to summon. So we're gonna let him go for the level 6 because he gets a tuner. He goes for the level 8, and this is the one we're going to destroy. Activate Void Trap Hole, negate, and destroy. He is going to lower my attack by 500. Dragon Duel put the Dragon Dark back in the deck. Top deck a Quan, we're gonna use the level 9 Quarian Gandrax to go into High King Alexander. I like running a level 10 in this build just because, I don't know, I like running a level 10 in this build. We have a little bit more room since I didn't want to load up on level 7s too much, since we only have the 2 divas. I mean, you can use Quan, but normally you're gonna use him to go into Insectron or your Samurai Destroyer. By the way, I want to thank everyone for the amazing response to my reaction video. Probably the most successful video I've had in months. So thank y'all for watching, and I guess I'm gonna try to do that more often. Anytime there's a worthy news for me to react to, I'll try to put one out. The comments too, like the comment section is at over 150 comments, which is insane. We're going up against old Shadow Game, annoying Shadow Game. But you know, as always, I like to show this deck losing to discourage any of you foreheads thinking about playing this deck. So we're gonna go Scrap Dragon, force the back row real quick. Destroy my Dragon Dart. Activates Rainbow Life. Hey, that's fine. I'll take 2 cards off your hand. And I don't want to get Lava Golem, so I'm going to go into Alexander. Alexander is also here for the DDD matchup if DDDs become more used. Maybe in the latter they're still being used, but I haven't seen any in King of Games. Like, I don't think that they haven't made it to King of Games with it. I just think they're not testing it in King of Games because they probably used it to get to King of Games. I'm gonna go Black Rose again, force the back row. You know, we just have to whittle down his card advantage. That's all we need to do in this matchup. Summon the Dragon Roar, special summon the Dragon Duo, and not attack. And we're still playing around the Lava Golem. We are taking a lot of damage, but he's running out of resources. Alright, he's gonna set a monster, so let's make sure that's not a Warm Worm, a Winda, a Wing Kuribo, anything problematic. So we're gonna go into all reliable Samurai Destroyer, negate that effect. No Ritual Beast for you. And he's got 1 card. If he top decks Lava Golem, I think we can still win this. So of course he top decks Lava Golem, by the way. But this is why we played. If you prepare for the worst, you don't have to worry about your opponent top deck. So he top decks the Lava Golem. What's another thing that would... Oh, he already had the Lava Golem. Excuse me, he top decked the Trap. And I'm thinking, okay, what could the game do to screw me over right now? Wall of Disruption would be disgusting, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna swarm the board, activate Beatdown, putting an extra 2700 damage on the board because that's 900 apiece. And he did have the Wall of Disruption. Without Beatdown, this would have not been lethal. Joke's on you, my guy. I got Beatdown. And there you go. Completely annihilating Shadow Game. Then I got 2 more matches. You know, there's really not a lot to say about the plays itself. It's still Thunder Dragons. You guys know what they do. It's all about the consistency, right? If are you gonna open up that Quan? If not, do you have enough back row and or hand traps to top deck into it? You know. It's not like before where we had charge and was like, well, maybe I'll mill good, you know, and then I can follow up with some plays. The deck is definitely a little bit slower. Alright, Deep Sea Dive is gonna get negated by Fiendish Chain. That's all good. Allow me to summon the Dragon Dart. And we're going to Black Rose. Now he does have a Void Trap Hole right here. The reason why he doesn't use the effect is because he can still save his Bestiary, right? And then if he negates the effect, he's clogged with the Fiendish Chain and I keep my back row. So instead he goes for the Legacy Clash, which is really good. Oh wait, the Void Trap Hole was mine. Keck W, he had a Deep Prison. When I saw it, when I was dueling, I was like, oh, I destroyed a Void Trap Hole. But that was my own. Alright, we're gonna summon the boy Dragon Duo, Dragon Hawk. Summon Dragon Dart. And I assume that's what he had because there was a delay on my draw. That's why we went in with the Dragon Dart. Now we're gonna tribute over the Dragon Dart to search a Dragon Roar, so we can add Dragon Duo again. And we're just gonna have to, you know, we're just gonna have to force out this back row right now. We already used our Black Rose. He banishes my World Legacy Clash, which is really unfortunate. But he chooses to negate my Gladiator. He chooses to negate Dragon Dark as opposed to Dragon Duel. I think either way I would have been fine. But you know, I can basically search with Dragon Duel because I can control my top deck. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a Dragon Hawk at the top of the deck. Very smart of him to add Vespacius because that makes this guy 2100 and his Vespacius is 2800. Under normal circumstances, I'm in trouble. But we have beatdown again. So guess what? This is just enough for me to crash on the level 4 and destroy the Vespacius, putting my opponent again in a top deck situation. Top deck is a monster set. We top deck one. Let's build our advantage. We're gonna synchro into Destroyer, summon Hawk, add the Hawk at the end phase, and at this point he can't top deck. We got him. Just a matter of him accepting his defeat. He will set, he will not scoop. I respect that. Let's bring back Duel and win this game. Also, I'm obviously gonna do more testing with this build and other builds when I'm able to stream. I didn't get a chance to stream today because I was kind of tired from last night because I have to be up early to work, and I'm probably gonna be, well, tomorrow I don't have to be up as early to work. I can actually start working a little bit later, but this morning I had to get up for a meeting. Duel. All right, so this is one of those hands that's not great, but at the very least we have Dark, and that's the issue with not being able to run Gold Sarcophagus and Dark, right? If I had two Darks in my hand is completely dead. I can't discard, I can't do anything. We top deck a Quan. So what we're trying to do here is force the navigation so I can protect with my Legacy Clash. Turns out he had a trap hole. Now he makes a mistake here, and I'm gonna point it out for those Dark Magician players that might be watching. What you want to do here, Quan can only activate in the main phase and the battle phase. It says it right there, main phase or battle phase. So if my opponent already has a Dark Magician, or he set up a top deck Dark Magician with the circle, he needs to have his toggle on and banish me in the standby phase. But he doesn't. So now we hit the main phase. He's gonna try to banish me here. And I think he did this thinking Insectron was gonna get summoned and banished in the same chain. That's not how the new ruling works. My Insectron was successfully summoned and then a new chain began. So he can't negate my Insectron. He should have just banished in the standby phase. I would have lost. Instead, he's about to get cooked. Powered Insectron. Activate. Gets banished. Doesn't matter. The effect still goes through. And I get to search with my Dragon Dark. Nope. 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 Kind of rude to attack me with all three monsters when he wasn't going to damage me, but whatever. Dragon Roar. Add the Dragon Hawk back. Special summon Roar. You've seen this dragon before, Dark Magician. I know you have. And this is all because you didn't take care of the Quan. You forehead. Black Rose Dragon, blow it all up. Now, here's the thing. It's not Ishizu because he's playing Post-Nerf. He's running Destiny Draw. I didn't want to trigger the Destiny Draw because I'm scared. But he had the Destiny Draw anyway. Look at this man. Top deck, into Rod. Rod adds Circle. Now Circle's not gonna add anything, right? Oh, okay, it's going to add Navigation. Alright. He doesn't have Dark Magician, but he put a Dark Magician at the top of the deck. I'm gonna set the Void Trap Hole, summon Dragon Roar. Go for the attack, use the Sphere Kribo. There's the Dark Magician top deck. They don't have an effect, so I can't use my Void Trap Hole. He still chooses to banish the back row, which I don't know if I agree with that. Destroys my Roar. And time to win with my Destiny Draw of my own. Pick up the Legacy Clash. We're gonna use Roar so that we can summon 2 monsters. If I just bring back Duel with Hawk, I don't get a second monster. Show him the beatdown. Damage step, navigation cannot negate, and we get the win. So this video ended up being pretty long. I guess I talked a lot about the Thunder Dragon deck, but just kind of my thoughts on this deck. I think the deck is very, very good. But again, for the people that invested in Levianeer, I only have 1, so I invested a little bit. But some people invested in 2 and 3. For those people, this is not going to replace the build because you shouldn't run Levianeer in this build, in my opinion. So we're going to try to find a build for Levianeer. We're going to keep playing Thunder Dragons. We're not going to give up. In the meantime, put the never miss on lease and get some W's. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. And until next time.